Oi oi! Welcome to Comic Book Collecting for Beginners, episode 6, maybe? Yeah, probably. So today it's going to be a shorter video, but I'm going to answer a question that's sort of already been explained in some of the other details, but in more depth. The question I keep getting from new collectors, I think the purpose of this is to break it down into really simple parts, just so that everybody has the foundations to build on to really begin collecting, or even if you're already a collector, to expand your knowledge. That question is the very simple: what is a key? Keys are the most important thing about our hobby, about what we do, about the collecting, about value. It's the main thing that you need to know about comics. And if you don't know about what a key is, or actually no, that's not entirely truthful. You can collect without knowing what a key is, because I mean, there's nothing wrong with collecting because you enjoy reading and you like the comics. Like, you don't need to know what a key is. But in terms of value, a key is the most important factor that you will ever come across. So it's something that you're going to need to know inside and out. Because of this, I thought it's such an important part of comic collecting that I thought I'd make a really simple, really basic, breaking it down guide, so that you know exactly what a key is by the end of it. If you are a seasoned collector, this video probably isn't for you, but I mean, if you wanna, usually we have a little bit of a bubble while we're going on. I don't know what the fuck that was. So stick around and let me know what you think. We're going to start at the very, very basics. Like, what is a key? Key is just the short term for key issue. Key issue is another word for a key event, and a key event is a major event. A key issue is something that can quite drastically change the story, the event, the timeline, anything like that. But it can also be like a myriad of other things. And the problem is with the fact key is such a broadly used term, it can be things such as an artist's first work on a series, an artist's first work as a whole, an artist's last work, a new creative team, the first time a creative team has worked on a character, or it can be something even more obscure, like the first appearance of Aunt Petunia's pet iguana's girlfriend, who is a llama, her auntie's third removed cousin's dog called Barry. So also, if that book exists, I want it. Yeah, so it can be pretty much anything, but the larger importance that the key holds, the bigger the importance the key holds, the more value that book has. And I've used this example in another video, but we're going to repeat it here. What do I have to hand? Here we go. We're going to use an empty Pokemon packet. Right, this Pokemon packet is your comic book. I know it's not. Shut up. I know it's not. It's a fucking Pokemon box, but imagination time, boys and girls. So this is Journey Together, Pokemon Journey Together, which is irrelevant. Ignore that part. This is a comic. It's not Pokemon Journey Together. This is a comic, right? This is a comic from the 1960s. Okay? Comic from the 1960s. Inside it is nothing. Now, if this was a key, this would have inside it. Here we go. I'm going to add to the visualization here, just because I know some of you are a little bit. Right, I'm going to draw very artistically on this pack of Post-its a key. Right, we're going to put that key in the fucking box. There we go. This now is a comic book containing a key. This comic will grow over time. It will get bigger. It will get bigger. It will get bigger. And this key inside it multiplies. So I'm not going to bother drawing a key on every fucking Post-it note. You can understand. So we'll say like 30 years later, there is now 3 lots of key stickers in there, and we've still got all the rest of them in there. That is multiply, multiply, multiply. Those key stickers are the value. Oh, we've lost one. That wasn't part of the analogy. There you go. Look, there you go. It's back. Ignore that. That never happened. So they'll keep going. They'll keep growing and growing and growing. And every time somebody looks inside that comic book, it's got more value because it's got keys in it. Yeah, lovely. Oh wait, hang on a minute. That's just made it really confusing, isn't it? Because now it looks like there's more than one key in it. The key doesn't change. Oh, fuck me. Right, let's start again. Fuck the box. Right, okay, so A comic book has a key in it. We're just going to use my hands. That would be easier, less confusing. This is a comic book without a key. This is a comic book with a key. My fist is the key. Over time, the key grows. Not literally, just metaphorically. And everything inside it grows. Key is the value. That is like a lump of gold growing in there. So give it 30 years and the key's like that big. The comic's like around it. I don't know why I'm doing this size thing. It's just making it overly complicated. Anyway, that gold's worth more money, obviously. If you have a comic book with no gold in it, the comic book grows over time, blah, blah, blah. Ages are multiple. No, this is just fucking ridiculous. I promise I do actually know what a key is. Right, we're going to start all over again. A comic book, if it has a key, has the potential to hold value. That's pretty much what I was saying. Without the potential to hold value, there's nothing that can grow. Instead, I went into this really strange growing hands, Pokemon boxes and post-it notes. So a key has to be in a comic book for it to hold any form of value. It doesn't matter how old a book is, say it's from the 1960s, even 1940s. Age does hold some innate value, but very little. One of the biggest mistakes that people actually make is that they assume that because their comic books are old, it must hold value. No, you're a fucking idiot. You need to do your research. You could have a book that is 3 weeks. I mean, a good example is what? Absolute Batman, which is only a few months old or whatever. Number one of that is around 150 quid, £200. You could pick up a book from 1963 as an example, worth 50p. Difference being, Absolute Batman is the first Absolute Batman. It's the beginning of the main run of the Absolute Universe. Whereas the 1960s book will not be a key. If you find a key from the 1960s, that's as major as a new universe or a new storyline. Say we find first appearance of Iron Man from Tales of Suspense, I think. That is massive. That's worth, like in a high grade, you could get hundreds of thousands if it's graded like in the 9s, or you can get a couple of grand in a low grade kind of thing. So, I mean, it doesn't matter how old a book is. That's the main thing I'm stressing here. It needs to have intrinsic value, it has to have real value, and that value comes in the form of a key event. That is also why such things such as store exclusives. If you go to one of these comic book shops that are like, oh, we're selling our exclusive cover that's limited to 500 copies, it doesn't mean shit. That is true value in keys, manufactured value in exclusive. Exclusives aren't even part of the main print run. They are something created by a shop. So that shop has paid money to have 500 of these printed, and they're saying this is worth £200 because there's only 500 of them. All it means is they only printed 500 of them. They probably couldn't afford more. It doesn't make it more valuable, it makes it less valuable. That value is all held in the fact that that shop is setting that price. They are setting the value of their own product. If they put it at £1,000 whilst it's at their shop stock, it's £1,000. That's what it's worth. No one else has it. They're setting that price. No one can tell them that it's not worth that money because it's their product. They can sell it for whatever they want to sell it for. Problem with this is the moment that last book sells, that book's no longer worth £1,000. That book's worth whatever anyone's willing to pay for it. And up until that point, what people were willing to pay for it was £1,000. You will find 9 out of 10 times exclusives. You check them, I don't know, a month later, and say you paid £200 for an exclusive limit to 100. That's probably worth about £2. They are an industry scam. I'm not saying that everyone does them is a scammer. It's part of the comic world, and some of them are gorgeous, and some of them are exceptions. Some of them do rise in value. I don't know how I've got onto exclusives, but yeah, so be wary with exclusives. We will do another video that does a better cover of variants and exclusives and stuff like that. But we're going back to keys now. So once you've identified the fact that you might have a key in your book, the best place to check this is Key Collector, which is unsurprisingly managed to make it into every single one of my videos so far. Key Collector is basically the comic book collector's Bible. Now, I can't remember. Oh wait, is it this one? We're probably gonna have a black screen for a second. Yeah, but I'm down here, look at me. Anyway, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do the thing that I should have done before starting the video, and that is this. So this is Key Collector Comics. I'll start on the home screen. I've shown you this so many times, you should be super familiar with it by now. This is the world's largest database for key events in comic books. I wouldn't use this as a pricing tool. The reason I mentioned this is because a lot of people ask me during my streams, when I'm doing the Whatnot streams, I have 3 screens. I've got an ultra wide here, which is the same size as 2 screens. I've got a vertical monitor here, which is the size of 2 screens, and I have a screen above. The screen above is what you're looking at now. That is the Key Collector Comics. During the show, I have Whatnot on the right side of my ultra wide, and then on the left side, I have Key Collector Comics. On the left of that, I have like just stuff, and above it, I have eBay. So what I'm looking at, some people think, oh my god, your comic knowledge is vast. I mean, it is. I am amazing, sexy, bald, and beautiful, very modest, but I'm actually just reading off of the screen. No, I do have good knowledge, but I can literally just look at this at any point, and I'll just have a little quick type. I can see the keys and stuff like that. So what I'll do during the show, say I pull up, I don't know, say we've just pulled up Uncanny X-Men 266. We all know that that is the first appearance of Gambit, technically second appearance, but everybody refuses to acknowledge that because it's a pretty cover and they want it to be first. This is second appearance and first cover appearance of Gambit. People call it the first appearance. It is not. But it's one of the most famous Gambit books. First chronological appearance of Gambit in stories, which is another argumentative point. X-Men Annual 14 went on sale 3 weeks before this issue and is considered the first cameo appearance, despite the fact Gambit appears in 15 fucking panels. I am going very off topic again. We'll do another video. There we go, another idea. Cameos versus true first appearances. Yes. I'll do that one live because I'm going to argue with people about it because I'm strongly opinionated on this fact. Hulk 181, second appearance. 180 is the first appearance. Anyway. So what you're looking at here is a list. Let me just move myself from the bottom corner so you can actually see. Oh, fucking every time. Well, here we go. Right up here now. So what you can see there is the list of all of the keys relating to this issue. This is every single one of these individually is a key event. Sometimes they do break them down. So this isn't a great example, but this is an explanation. That's one part, and then that is one key, that is one key, and that is one key. And I realise it sounds like I'm saying one key. Anyway, another good use about this kind of thing is if you're looking for things that you want to collect. Say, for example, one of the guys, the reason why I'm making this video, one of the guys asked me a question recently about what he should collect, and he told me the characters he likes. Adam, if you're watching, this is to help you as well. If you go up here and you go to character, you can find, so let's go with, I don't know, who was the character? One of yours was Ghost Rider, wasn't it? So if we go to Ghost Rider, you've got all of the different Ghost Riders here. You've got Blaze Rays, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Ketch, you've got the Midnight Sun, Slade. So if we go to Johnny Blaze, for example, the first book is always his first appearance. You've got Marvel Spotlight 5, 1972. First appearance in the origin of Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze. First appearance of Roxanne Blaze, the wife of Johnny Blaze. And then it has all of the key events in this character's timeline. So usually they're in order. Not always, because sometimes the storyline isn't chronological. Because it's really listed on Key Collector by release date, I believe. So that means it should technically be in order, but like I said, it doesn't always apply, especially with alternate universes and multiverses and all of that bollocks. So the further down you go, the more you get random sort of modern books. Another point to note is make sure you toggle variants on, because some of the most valuable books are often variants for these characters. So keep in mind, first appearance, Key Collector high is 2k, graded, that's a lot more than that. But we'll go down. There's a specific variant that I'm trying. I didn't know that was a Ghost Rider key. Oh, of course, first appearance of the Champions. Ghost Rider's in the Champions, isn't he? There is a 1 in 50 somewhere that I have in a 9.8, which is worth over £6,000. It might actually be classed as a Venom key. I can't see it in here. Yeah, so that's a great one to look at that. Venom's another great shout, actually. So say your favourite character was Venom, you wanted to know what to collect. This is like your checklist of the greatest books you can possibly collect for the character that you want to collect. So go in here, we've got comics. That's a good one. Fantagraphics, first published sketch of Spider-Man's black costume. So that's the symbiote suit, which relates to Venom. There's some really good stuff in here. There's a bunch of these. I think I actually have a lot of these amazing heroes somewhere that I genuinely didn't even realise were Venom keys. So you've got loads of black suit keys. You've got the Venom first appearance there. What's this one? Second appearance of Venom. Oh, that's interesting as well. Comic Scene 2 is the first appearance of Venom. But yeah, this will show you all of the obscure stuff, all of the stuff anything relating to your favourite character. So genuinely make use of it, because you can scroll through here, you can set your likes, your wants, and I mean, I would say you can look at these and then come to me and be like, Matt, do you have this? And I'll probably say, fuck off, I don't know where anything is. Come on, you know me. Like, I barely even know how to get dressed in the morning. I'm not a functioning adult. I basically have a carer. That's Amy, poor lady. Yeah. So that is the best way to search for the character that you're looking for when you're looking specifically for key events. The reason this is important is because these books are the only books that will hold value. The thing is it's books relating to the character. So say for example, one of a must-have, in my opinion, a must-have book, that's a great one there as well, one of the must-have books for Venom collectors, I would say, is Venom 2000 and, is it 2014 or is it 2018? The Venom 3, which is the first appearance of Null, the symbiote god. Technically, so that's 2018. Technically, that is not a Venom key, because it's a Null key, but it's in a Venom book. So it's not going to give you every book that you need, but it will give you the books relating to that character. There's probably like a symbiote category and stuff like that in Key Collector as well, which you can use to check through this.
David alert.
We're going to have to pause this 2 seconds. I will be right back. And we're back! The magic of technology. Can't remember where I got to, so I'm going to leave that there. Yeah, great way to look at it. Another way to utilise this in terms of keys is, say for example, you wanted to focus on a timescale rather than a character. You can go on here, a good one, for example, let's go to bronze keys, because if you go to silver, it begins getting unaffordable. You could aim to collect the top 100 Key Collector top issues. You've got first appearance of Scooby-Doo, first appearance of that word there. Detective Comics, like, there are so many fantastic lists that you can use to enhance your collection, and it gives you an idea of what to expect, like all of the different, like for example, a lot of people don't realise, like somebody came to me the other day and they said, oh Matt, I've bought a first appearance of Morbius and it cost me just 200 quid, and I was like, reasonable price, and then he showed me it and he'd bought that. That is the second appearance, which loads of people don't even realise that they exist. And he got absolutely rinsed, so I sent him back to that shop and he got a refund. Yeah, so we're not going to go into different covers and facsimiles and stuff. There is a video on variants that touches that. Is there anything we haven't covered? This was meant to be a really quick, really basic one. I think that's pretty much it. So what is a key? How to use that to your advantage? What a key is? We've covered all of that. Yeah, I mean, if there's anything that you guys want to know specifically, let me just swap back to the big screen so you can see my bald beauty in all of its gigantic goodness. Look at that. Yeah, if there's anything that you guys want to know, I would actually be quite grateful if anyone could drop some comments about what sort of videos you want to see in terms of what are you unsure on, like it could be anything, like whatever you want to know about, like I don't know how legacy numbering works. That's pretty fucking self-explanatory, and if you ask that, I probably won't do it. I'll just take the piss out of you. But whatever you want, like, the fucking sky's the limit. Just chuck a comment in and I'll make a video about that. I do have a number of other videos that I have planned for the next couple of weeks and stuff, and they are probably going to be as chaotic and disjointed as this. The next one will be live as well. We're gonna do the true firsts versus cameos and stuff like that next. So thank you for watching. This was a very quick, very, very informative video. Yeah. I'm gonna shut up now. Laters.